Mark, we waited a whole month. We waited one whole month to come back on. We had our goodbyes, said a few things like we were never going to come back, and then Philadelphia was like, no, you must do another show. And I did ask the old crew, and you were the only one that were like, yeah, all right, sure.
I know, they're like, oh God, Philadelphia sports, no thank you. Well, I mean, what do you expect from a guy from Kitchener, Ontario, and I want to say Providence, Rhode Island, but I know he doesn't live.
Close enough.
Where does Paul live? I always said Rhode Island.
Know. I think he lives in. Sure.
Yeah,
I think he lives in Providence. He goes to the P Bruins brains.
Yeah, he's constantly at the P Bruins, and he was crying about the Paw Sox. To me, that's his Providence, but
that's his Providence to me.
But yeah,
it's certainly not Boston.
No, it's not Boston, but I get it. So it's like I can see they're not interested. But Philadelphia. You and I grew up watching games there at the many different venues and arenas. So
yeah. There'll come a time where they will want to talk about something, and we will be there for them.
Yes.
And I just wanted to do this for maybe not. Maybe I'll find something else to do, but I do want to do this. That Stadium Journey. I lost my place already. Stadium Journey is the world leader in sports travel information with reviews of over 2,600 stadiums from all around the world and counting. If you're a sports person or not a sports person, you want to look up a venue to see how it's going to be when you head there and you haven't been there before, stadiumjourney.com has it guaranteed. There's very little amount of venues that will not be on that website, on our website, stadiumjourney.com. And I just
know before you go.
You go.
A lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, I'm glad I checked this out. I want to see where to park. A lot of places have these new pay before you park. So, you don't want to show up somewhere and you haven't paid for your parking, like in Columbus, Ohio for a Blue Jackets game, or even here in Fishers, Indiana at the new event center for a hockey game. So we tell you all.
Yeah. I can't wait for another 6 years to where I might actually contribute to the website and write a review on the new arena.
Well, yeah, you got 2031. Is that going to be the case?
2031 or quicker.
Yeah.
They might accelerate that. You haven't been. So yes, everybody, the reason we're on here is because we're going to yap about South Philly, because as of December, as of the last Stadium Journey full-size podcast, I'm going to call this bite-sized for now and see how long it runs. It was a done deal. Sixers were moving to 76th place, what we call 76th place market in Chinatown. They were going to build a new arena, revitalize the area to where the gallery shops are. And then all of a sudden, at the beginning of the week, he took this tremendous U-turn that apparently not even the mayor and the city council saw coming until it was announcement time. I might as well bring this up. I spent time on it, but I made some slides. I took this very seriously. Well, yeah, I took. There's only 3 slides, but I took this seriously because I said, I did seriously say, if I'm gonna do a show under the name Stadium Journey with, rotating members or a full crew, whatever it's gonna be, if I'm the one leading it, I don't want to be normal Dan and loud and boisterous the entire time and shut people out. I want people to actually hear this.
Yes.
So I prepared like a host, believe it or not. I can't believe I did this. But anyway, the deal, 76ers and the Flyers, HBSC, it's Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, not Vince McMahon, thank God, Comcast Spectacor, have merged, basically. That merged, but they've merged their ideas to where the Sixers were going to leave town and go into Philadelphia and leave South Philly. And we'll get into that in a little bit. It is now going to stay in South Philly. Now, what I can't be clear on, which we'll cover in a second. Yes, I made these.
Oh, look at that. It's like a high school production or a college presentation there.
I was going to say, don't give me high school. Come on. Give me a little, put that up a little bit.
Graduate school production.
Yeah, I tried here.
Yeah, that's good.
Can I tell you, I've had PowerPoint for 20 years. Well, as long as PowerPoint's been out, I've had computers
Yeah.
with PowerPoint. I've never used it before today.
Oh, really? I've been using.
I used it today for
30
the
years.
I always used Canva. I use Canva.
Yeah, that's good.
Specifically, and I use Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. The only thing I'm using AI for right now is to upscale photos that are really kind of crappy looking.
Yeah.
But I do not AI images. Nope. Or Photoshop AI. If I need to make something, if I can't make it myself, I'm just going to ask somebody to make it for me. I'm not going to do the AI thing. And I know, and yes, I am holier than thou on the AI thing. So yeah, it's a 50-50 joint venture between Comcast, Spectacor, and HBSC. So all these months, years, really, I think it's been 2 or 3 years. Both sides have been doing this, just butting heads the entire time. And this goes back to what's the word we're looking? What's the word we're going to use, Mark, for 100 million sprucing up of the Wells Fargo renovation? Thank you.
Renovation.
Jeez.
It was 400 million, and that was what, about 6 years ago?
It was dude. They finished it 2 years ago.
Well, they just finished. Well, they might, yeah.
Or 1 year ago. It was when Dave and I and my mom went to the Wings game because Mom hadn't been there to the new arena. I was like, hey, Mom, you want to go? But Dave was doing the trip, and I was going to be there, and he's like, you want to go to the Wings? Yeah. That was the first time I had been there. It was like it opened that season. That was the new renovated arena that season. So it's been in the talks for 6 years, but it started during COVID.
Okay. Well, here's my question. What did you think about the renovations? Did you say, wow, this looks like crap, or, hey, this is a great job they did here?
Oh, no. If you want to learn more in depth, there is an episode you can look up on stadiumjourney.com or the Stadium Journey YouTube page. You hear Mark and I discuss that trip. But to answer your question, I kind of had low expectations. Now, mind you, this was, the original discussions about trying to keep the Sixers there. Like one of the main contention points for getting this done was doing things the Sixers wanted for the arena that Comcast kind of didn't do. And I really thought once it was done, the 400 million renovation would kind of want to keep them there. And apparently it didn't. Again, we'll get into that in a second. But I went in there not with low expectations. I was kind of like, who knows? What's this going to be like? It was fine. I mean, the chairs were great. All that's new. All the chairs were new. I liked what they did with the concourses. First of all, they made them twice as wide as they used to be.
There you go.
They weren't spectrum sized where it was like,
or Cincinnati arena.
Never got better.
Yeah, come to Cincinnati if you want to feel what it's like to see a game at the Spectrum, because that thing hasn't changed in 50 years.
Oh, what's the name of that arena?
Oh my goodness, what is it called now? It was the
Heritage
U.S. Bank
Center.
Arena. Yeah,
it's the Heritage Bank Center.
Heritage Bank
video.
Center. Yeah, it's that arena. If you watch the opening of WKRP, and we're already off task. If you watch
that's all right.
If you look at WKRP, they show a picture of it. It looks the same from the intro, but yeah, I think they widened it a little bit in 1997, but it is still a very narrow concourse.
We haven't mentioned pork roll yet, and that doesn't count.
No, not yet.
So,
which you probably could get at the Wells Fargo Center, correct?
I don't actually
was
know.
It there, or I mean, they used to serve it in Philadelphia at some stadiums from old menus that I saw.
You know what? The last thing I look for when I go to that arena is pork roll.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't actually know. Hey, there's somebody that was at the Heritage Bank.
What, Joe Molsky?
No, you. I was bringing up your.
You're bringing up my
I was gonna bring up your video.
That's right. I did do a video there. Yeah, look at that.
Look how tiny. You could even see in your video how small the concourse is. Come on.
Yeah.
I just had it. There it is. Look up.
I know.
It's like a college dorm hallway.
Yeah, it's wild. It's and they don't get a lot of people, but imagine if they had a sellout crowd. I don't know where you would walk.
That's 17,000 at that place. Oh my God.
But if it's one city that needs a new building or renovation, it is Cincinnati. It is not Philadelphia. I just to add to that, I just saw, looking that up,
Mark,
Yeah.
they're looking at 3 sites for a new arena in Cincinnati.
Okay. Well, yeah,
as of
they've been
November.
talking about that until they start putting a shovel into some dirt. But the like it's a great place to watch a hockey game. Like
Yeah.
if you go there, you get great. If you just sit in your seat, perfect. But the problem with Cincinnati is that it's just not a modern facility, so they're not going to get concerts. They're not going to get conventions. They're not going to get political rallies.
That thing looks horrible.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're not going to get tournaments to host a tournament site for any kind of college or hockey. But look at the water stains there.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like the Spectrum.
Yeah, I got to go back. I got to go back and do another video.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. But like that's Cincinnati, Philadelphia. I mean, that arena opened up in 1996, which I think when the Spectrum stopped hosting games was 29 years after it opened. But the Spectrum seemed dated. This is not dated.
Well, even especially with the new renovation, like there's nothing wrong with that building, but it doesn't have the stench or the stank on it like the Spectrum did.
No, and it wasn't built like a late 60s facility with narrow concourses and lack of skyboxes. I mean, between 1967 and 1996, a lot changed. A lot has changed since 1996, but most arenas have gone through major renovations. Like here in Indianapolis, the Field House downtown went through just finished their renovations a year or two ago as well. That have really changed things. Now, I kind of like the old building a little bit more in its aesthetics, but I get it. You had to build for the future. Well, I know Boston, the TD Gardens had to renovate. The United Center in Chicago renovated, and those were all built around the same time in that mid to late 90s.
You know what building also renovated? The Spectrum.
The Spectrum, really? Yeah.
We renovated it, and they were still tearing it down. Like they knew it was going down.
Yeah.
But they still were like, we got to spruce it up to last these next 4 years or whatever, however long it was.
Yeah, it's too bad they couldn't just lift the Spectrum up and put it outside to say, hey, this will be a place for, we'll have the Kicks play here and the Phantoms. It would have been perfect.
I don't know. I'm just going to get angry because that's what I wanted. Like I know I'm in the minority, but I didn't want whatever the hell the Xfinity Live was going to be.
Yeah, no,
I didn't want that. I can't find any video of walking through the Spectrum on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Anywhere. There's probably something out there.
Not a one.
Well,
I was going to try to play it in the background and I can't find anything.
Yeah, it's sad to see these, you get why they replaced the Spectrum.
Oh God. Yeah.
Sure. I don't. This just seems absurd. This almost seems like the time the Georgia Dome was replaced, but then you compare the two and you're like, okay, I get it.
Well, that's the thing. And the Spectrum was built in 1967, and the last final Flyers game where it was October 2008. I was there. It was against the Phantom, and then they had stuff through that October, and then that was it. And unlike the Veterans Stadium and other buildings that went down, they did this. They tore it down slowly so you could stare at it for weeks while they were slowly ripping it apart. But yeah, I wanted that. Of course I wanted that to stay there. But the thing is, let's say 96 Core State Center open. As far as the Flyers building, it's been cursed.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, it's bad. Let's keep going before because there's even more to add to this. Mm-hmm. This still includes a venture, because I covered 50-50 joint venture with Comcast and HBSC. Includes a venture to revitalize Markets East, where 76th Place was going to. So they're still going to have 2 projects. Yes. They're going to have the new arena project and whatever they were doing to the sports complex, because they're adding more than just arena, which we'll talk about in a second. But they're also going to do something where 76th Place was going to be, which is also fine news for me.
Yeah, Mayor Parker was adamant. It was a win-win situation for the city.
Even though she was blindsided, she was still adamant. Yeah. So,
she said, oh yeah, this is a great idea. They're going to stay at the complex and we're going to revitalize 76th Place. And I mean, she was acting like a cheerleader. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's a little bit too
inside.
giddy
She's
today.
like, I can't believe you guys did this to me. For
Yeah, she always like that. Is that how her press conferences are?
She's new at this, man. This is
Okay,
her first.
yeah,
No, she's great as far as presentation and press conferences and well spoken and doing her thing. I'll get into that. Like I said, I planned this all out. I got more
all
of
right.
that coming up
All
later.
right, let's continue.
Comcast is taking a minority stake in the 76ers, which adds to Comcast and HBSC will bid to bring the WNBA to the city, which is out of all of this, my favorite news. That's
your favorite news. Okay, I can see that.
That's my favorite part of that, because I'm really, a lot of people have been, pushing for that for years. And this last little point here, I mentioned on purpose, where it says the Phillies are part of this venture to change the face of the South Philly sports complex. I didn't see the Eagles mentioned or hear the Eagles mentioned anywhere in the press conference or any article I read about. So we got 3 out of the 4 major sports teams that have a foothold in South Jersey and I keep doing that. South Philly in on this. I don't know what the Phillies part is going to be, but having their back, because they're all right there close to each other, is nice to hear. Hopefully there will be no arguments.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the Phillies want to create sort of, they want to create this destination place before games, and kind of like in Atlanta for the Battery, which
that's what I was about to say. Yep.
Yeah,
like
everybody, that's all I keep hearing about, the Battery. Cincinnati has something like that, outside of their stadium, between the 2 stadiums down there. But yeah, it could be an exciting little spot there, because I think it's just stadiums. It's not as if there's places to shop or drink or eat or hang out or work. So it gives folks in that community like, hey, this is a cool place to hang out, whether there's a game or not, or the teams are on the road playing in a big championship series.
Yeah, there's like shops.
So yeah, that's going to benefit.
Like
definitely
going to
benefit the Phillies. I mean, I think with Eagle games, you just go there, you tailgate, you watch the game, and leave. That's kind of what football fandom is. But with baseball, yeah, you want to hang out someplace after the game.
I wasn't going to mention this, but I am, and I'm just going to keep it cordial. You know what's funny about that? You mentioned the tailgating. When the original news broke that it was almost like it was back in September, the fall, right before the fall. It was pretty much all but official that the Sixers were going to probably build an arena in Marketplace, at Market where they sit. And a local news website, that sports news website that will remain unnamed on this show, went on a little bit of an attack on tailgating, and said there's nothing iconic about the sports complex or the parking lots. Who cares? Kind of went after one of my friends.
Oh, really?
Not kind of. They did. And, the one guy did, Kevin. And all these months later, he won't she's black and he's white. And I need to comment that kind of thing. And not to harp on it, but months later, his whole argument is worthless because they're staying there anyway.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's so funny. And he won't let it go. He just he's blocked her. And her name is Real Mama. Shout out to Kiana Williams, Real Mama Eagle. He's blocked both myself and her, but he just keeps talking, and we just move on. So the tailgating, the Eagles is all about the tailgating. Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, what we didn't consider is there are people that go to the tailgates that don't have tickets to the game that will go to another building and watch the game within the complex. Right now it's Xfinity Live or the casino. That's going to triple. If you're going to have more bars and restaurants there that have the game, that's going to be huge. So that's a whole other aspect that wasn't mentioned earlier. Was it, Kevin? This is after a 2-year bitter and very public battle. This is stuff I picked up for the press conference. Harris mentioned this only started coming together in the last 2 weeks before the announcement. Kenyatta Johnson, member of the Philadelphia City Council, played off being annoyed throughout the presser. He was very, yeah, we're going to do this. But you can tell he's like, hey, I'm going to waste my time for sons of bitches. Mayor Parker did as well, but seemed blindsided by the whole thing. I forgot the word she used because that presser was like an hour and 33 minutes.
Yes, it was very long.
Oh, and I did not watch the whole thing because I have things to do.
What would you rather watch, that or the upcoming inauguration?
That. I'll say this for myself. I'm consistent. Harris indicated that Brian Roberts and Adam Silver brought everyone together to get on the same page, which included a lot of compromises by Comcast after putting the $400 million into the Wells Fargo Center. So after all that, the $400 million non-concessions by Comcast, they're like, all right, we concede. We'll give you a couple things you want. I have not seen it written anywhere officially, but I'm wondering if this was, I don't want to be on the conspiracy theory side of it, but I'm wondering if this was done on purpose to gain a foothold in the South Philly complex by the Sixers to stay there and get more of what they want.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting little move there. I know the only thing with 76 Place, how much time and money and people's work and effort and research went into making sure building an arena there was going to be profitable, was going to be the right thing. And now it's like, well, what? We just approved this. What do you mean we're not doing
a year and more?
Yeah. And I know a lot of folks didn't want a stadium there because they felt that, Chinatown was always a bargaining chip. Oh, yeah, let's move to Chinatown. And, oh, yeah, let's do all this work. Let's get all this hype up. And then, we're going to go someplace else. Because I think this isn't the first time somebody wanted. I think the Eagles or the Phillies wanted to build a stadium there at one time many moons ago. They want to leave the complex. We're going to go here and revitalize it.
Yeah.
So I think there's some people that maybe wanted it there that feel gypped, and now there's people that were like, "Oh, I didn't want you here anyway," but I don't want to hear another team or saying you want to come here in the future. So,
well, like I said, that's going to end because whatever this conglomerate is going to do, they're going to do together. They're still going to do something in that spot.
Yeah, which I think, I don't know what they have planned, but it should be a nice little. Hopefully, they have something good. I don't know what. Like I said, I don't even know what that area is really like. I mean, is that a part of town that is deteriorating? That is needs some fixing up.
It needs some fixing up.
Okay, so
it's.
You can still do entertainment down there somehow.
Let me just say, you wouldn't be going there in the cold light of day.
Okay.
Let me bring up. I'm gonna go to the where they were proposing the exact.
I mean, I've been to parts of Philly where I'm like, what the heck am I doing here?
What am I doing?
Philadelphia Brewing Company. I don't know if that's still there, but
that's okay.
Went into a building that just looked like it was abandoned, but it was a bookstore.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
it was wild. That was my last time in Philly. My couple buddies and I went down there.
Well, you were saying the last time you were at the arena was 2009, right?
I think it was 2009, 2010. It was to see a Philadelphia Soul game. And I was right for
winning championships.
Yeah, I was right for another website. It might have been the last year they played. It was around early. It was well over 10 years ago. But wind up getting a press pass, and I went with two friends, and I said, hey, well, I have a press pass. You'll have to buy a ticket. So I said, I'll meet you inside the gym. Just give me a call. Well, I go downstairs to the media area where they had food and game notes. Well, these two schmucks show up inside there. I said, how'd you get in there? We just walked in. We just followed you behind. We followed behind you.
Great.
I said, why did you buy a ticket? We didn't feel like buying a ticket. So we were going to go buy a ticket. And we said, hey, let's go back there, open the door. I didn't see anybody there. So they just walked right in. He's like, we just acted like we were media members. So, but Wells Fargo, I hope you're just not letting random people come into the media entrance anymore. So they got it for free. And I said, well, just follow me. Nobody will say anything. So
yeah, you just stick with me. I'm the press guy. Okay, so that's where it was going to be. This is the gallery on Market. I have not been here to the building. I've been to the area, but
so they're going to stick that arena right in that.
Right there. It was going to be on this block here.
Wow.
And it's not a terrible area. I mean,
you could do something.
You got Marketplace East right there. Where is the African American Museum? Is just north of it. The Constitution Center is right up here. The Pennsylvania Convention Center is kind of to northwest. So it's not, you got City Hall right there.
Okay.
It's not that bad. It's a good area in that way, but
I'm just thinking about the traffic going down there for
that was another argument. Not only are you chalking up Chinatown, is look at that. Nobody's getting to. You think people don't get to the Capital One Arena or Cap Center on time?
Mm-hmm.
This will be worse.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll have price congestion tolls, and you have to take the subway. I mean, because Philadelphia is one of those cities not too bad to get around by car. I mean, there's the interstate cutting through.
Oh yeah, that's
I just think
under road.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked about the complex was it was right off 95. It was easy to get in and out. I don't know how much it is to park for a game these days, but
it's like 45.
For goodness gracious, 45.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I think, you have other options. I guess you can park away. I know when I went to a Philly
park at Jetro, which is $5.
We parked at Roosevelt Park. Is that what's next door? And walked. And that might have been like $15 we had to pay.
Across the street here? Oh yeah, FDR Park.
Yeah, FDR Park, yeah.
Which is great, by the way. There's the NovaCare complex where the Eagles practice.
Mm-hmm.
And where is Chickies and Pete's is right up here.
Yeah.
There's also the Celebreze Pizzas right there. So just for perspective, the Vet used to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That was the Spectrum.
Oh, yep.
This was JFK Stadium.
JFK Stadium.
Right. So basically, tore the Spectrum down. That lot was Spectrum. Oh, so depressing seeing the grass there. That was JFK. That's where the new arena is.
Yeah, I wonder what
Xfinity Live,
the new arena.
That's I don't know. I'm going to bring up a picture later that will kind of cover.
Because have they made? I don't think I've seen renderings of the new arena.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay, because it's almost like, hey, we're going to stay here and we're going to have some built by 2031. Oh, is this the idea?
This was the plans that were developed after the Sixers decided, hell with you, we're out of here.
Okay.
We're going to go to market. But Comcast was still going to they're still doing a lot of this where they're putting buildings. This is still across the street from FDR Park, I think.
Wow. That's
according to the map.
City.
Yeah, that basically it's going to be like the Battery, like everybody said. Like the whole, according to those designs, that means, let me look. So we're getting rid of parking lot P. We're getting rid of lot P. That's gone because they're putting buildings there. That's what that is. The Spectrum, which is, sorry, I was on the wrong screen. The Spectrum, which is the Spectrum parking, which is a parking lot now, which is right here, is where that circular building is in the render, where it has the green top, kind of looks like a smaller Barclays Center, right behind Xfinity Live.
Okay.
So that would be, if we go back to the map, that would be right here. So I'm assuming, because that was going to be like a smaller arena, like a concert hall, performance hall kind of thing. I'm assuming that they changed plans and the arena goes here, right where the Spectrum. I think they're putting the arena back here because they're not going this way. They're not going anywhere near FDR Park, man.
No, you can't.
So all those buildings that are at the back end of this, they're getting rid of the lots, man. There's going to be 3 small parking lot for work, another office building. I'm assuming for the Sixers because all the office buildings for the Flyers are in the Spectrum, in the arena. Office building and hotels and apartments, another hotel building, shops and restaurants in the middle, and then the new arena, which will probably take up a lot of space now for where they're going to put all those buildings and shops. If we go back to the map, that's all of this. So I'm assuming that's where that office building is going to be. They're getting rid of this parking here, and all these lots, which are used by the SEPTA riders to walk across the lot. So basically, this lot, there's going to be like a third of the lots left. Huh.
Well, yeah, then they're going to probably develop some more
because this is gone too.
Nearby.
These are all going to go.
Well, that's what a lot of people complain about the complex is that it's just a bunch of empty lots and the 3 stadiums and I guess the concert hall.
I'm agreeing with you, Mark. Yes, because nobody parked. There's so much space open in all the lots. Yes, it's a pain in the ass to get out, but there's so many open spaces left at those lots that it's probably not going to do a lot of harm to the parking there. It's still going to probably be all worked out. That I'm not worried about. What I am worried about now, this is years from now. It's long term, but these lots right here, the front of this lot and this lot right here is used every year for the Camp Out for Hunger. The Preston and Steve show just happened to hold the largest food donation drive in North America. Now, it moved from the Metroplex out by Northeast, and here about 10 years ago, they're going to lose that spot. Now, that's the least of our problems, I know, but that things like that are going to change because there's not going to be anywhere to go. Tailgating is going to be affected very little. That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's sort of like in Indianapolis with the old RCA Dome. There was ample tailgating, and when they built the new Lucas Oil, that took away a lot of the spots. But yeah, there's still enough areas to tailgate, and it's situated up against downtown, where you already have a lot of bars and pre-existing places to drink and eat before.
Now, I'm only using this as an example because I can picture it in my head easily. So, the main tent for Preston and Steve is usually here at this lot, and they have a makeshift Acme here in the lot for people that just want to buy grocery bags and donate it to the drive.
I can't believe we still have an Acme because I know they closed them in New Jersey a few years ago. And
Acme, that's for sure. Yeah.
I was watching the Eagles game. I'm like, is that an Acme sign? They still have them? Okay.
Yeah, Acme's still, there's a few in Jersey and very South Jersey, but
maybe they never went away.
Acme's still around. Yeah. Acme was a monster for the Camp Out for Hunger usually.
Yeah, what I was saying with the radio Hungerthon crusade, it's they'll find another spot or they'll make room there. They'll just change things up and usher in a new era.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a man, I don't know. It's just so weird after all that money.
Well, that's what they've been fighting about the whole time, moving here for 2 years. How much do you think that costs to research and conduct an economic development plan? I mean, that's.
I wonder if I could find that.
That I couldn't find. Now, did I look very diligently for it? Not really, but
no, because I had almost every answer you had at question.
Well, it seems like most people are happy they're staying. There's not anybody like fans,
I have not heard a lot of people that are very upset about this. There are more people that were upset about, the obvious move to market, because what it was going to do to, people that live there and moving the team away from the sports complex where it's been for years. And then the traffic part of it, it's like, that's a friggin' mess. And I don't care how many times you slice it. I would happily sit in the traffic to leave the sports complex any day of the week. And I have to this day when I go, I sit happily just to drive in there as easily as I do. 92% of the time. Every now and then there's I'm trying to look for this number and I can't.
No.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I just think all the people that put forth an effort and try to make things work all of a sudden now, because I think after a while they're like, okay, we're going to make this happen. This will be exciting. But what were the Sixers? Because they were going to play in their own arena and the Flyers were going to stay at Wells Fargo.
Oh, I don't even remember anymore, dude.
It's almost like how did this all start? Like, why did the Sixers want to move in the first place?
At one point, there was even talk about an arena in Cherry Hill.
Yes, yeah, and I remember hearing that even back when they were trying to get out of the Spectrum.
Yeah, in the night, and I'm talking about up into the mid '90s.
Yeah,
there was talk about that. There was talk about at one point leaving the Spectrum there, but that was a problem because they wanted to put that entertainment thing there. I found there's so many articles that's still online because a lot of this happened during the internet era or the cataloging era that you can still find, but there's so much that's happened between now and then.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But yes, no, I'm beyond thrilled that this is happening. I'm so happy that this is happening versus what we were going to get. What also makes me happy about it is the two things that I'm hyper focused on was I'm trying to bring something up here at the same time, was the fact that they're going to work on the WNBA. And I found this cool time lapse thing. Okay. And they're going to work on, there's going to be two projects, the Arena project and the Market Street project, which is great. Mm-hmm. This is a nice little time lapse I found.
And this is from, I can't see the dates here.
It was from 84 to now.
Okay.
Oh, that broke my heart. There she goes. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, and in order to bring a WNBA team, I really hope that there's still a lot of interest in the league by 2031. I had a gentleman on my podcast last night. He's Mal Romanen, and he's starting a new perfect game collegiate baseball league in St. Catharines. And we just started talking about the hockey game in Denver, how everybody was shouting, "We want a team," 13,000 people in Denver to watch professional female hockey. I'm going to a professional volleyball team tomorrow. They're expecting about 6,000 people for this game. So,
oh wow,
it's exciting. And I tell you, these tickets are hard to get. I mean, $30-$50 a ticket. There's definitely a demand and there's definitely an interest. So I know Toronto's getting a team. Cleveland's I think Cleveland wants to get a team back, and hopefully Philly, because I don't think Philly ever had a WNBA team. I know they had one in the old ABL. The Rage.
Yeah, I was going to say never the there was never a WNBA team. They had the Rage. Yeah.
So yeah, it could definitely work out. It'd be nice to see some new markets pop up, give women a chance to play here in the country, than have to go overseas and deal with any kind of political nonsense. But
and I'll say this. Yeah, but I'll also, who cares? No, I'm kidding. I'll also add this. As much as we like to disparage the haters, and for rightfully so, as far as the WNBA, like the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff, the more that happens, the more people that will talk about it.
Yeah, the algorithm is working. Yeah. I've said this before on past episodes. When I went to Seattle to their renovated arena, the former Key Arena, now Climate Pledge. Oh my God, you had to go see a WNBA game where they're like 5 people there. Ha ha ha. It's like the same jokes you hear constantly. And it's like, come up with some new material. Like, shut up.
There's a certain they're not all on this side, Mark, but there's certain groups of people on the opposite of this side that don't understand how parody and satire works to begin with, so their jokes never go past the same.
No, they should go. Yeah,
28 years.
Well, it's like, listen, yeah, no, it's right. There's a lot of sports I don't like to watch. I don't like golf, but I don't criticize.
Yeah,
that it's boring. I don't
imagine that, Mark.
Yeah, I don't like NASCAR. I don't like tennis, but I'm not criticizing any of the athletes that participated. And a lot of these indoor football leagues, I used to love the league. The various leagues, I'm getting kind of tired of the nonsense going on with those leagues, but yeah, I'm not criticizing unless you guys do something stupid. Yeah, Climate Pledge, beautiful arena. Look at that. They did a nice job. Love those scoreboards.
Oh, it's we only criticize Tim Capper because we love him.
Yeah,
and we don't criticize. We just bust his chops.
Yeah,
that's another podcast that'll live on as long as I'm alive. There's gonna be a Tim Capper episode at least once a year on Stadium Journey.
Oh yeah, no, I you know what? Here's the thing. I would talk to him about Arena Football 1 because that's the OG Arena League. Some of these, and we're getting an indoor football league team here as well. I hope that works. It's going to start in March, so we'll find out sooner than later.
Great.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, when it comes to anything outside the NFL, they're indifferent about it. Instead of saying, hey, this is a cool, cheap option to enjoy and have fun, let's do it. Nah, I don't want to do it. I don't know.
Well, how's the what do they call the UFL, XFL? How's that going?
The UFL, they're starting. I think is it the third season of them combined?
So they're full steam ahead.
Yeah, they're full steam ahead. I don't think they have any expand. It's the same 8 teams, and they're not moving into any new markets.
Yeah, Birmingham. We're English. Birmingham, Houston, Memphis, Michigan, Arlington, DC, San Antonio, St. Louis. And let's also point out before you say what you're going to say, when a newer league or an expansion league, doesn't expand for 2 or 3 years, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay because we saw the original USFL. They expanded, I think, by 6 teams in year 2.
Yeah,
and the North American Soccer League expanded ridiculously in a couple years, and that just because you get more teams and more ownership isn't necessarily a positive thing.
No.
So
no.
Yeah, keep it at 8. Maybe try to get to 12 as a goal, but make sure people are showing. I wish I would see more. I know the Michigan team plays at Ford Field, and I love their uniforms and colors. I've always liked that look, and I would like to get to a game there. But hey, the crowd seems a little. I don't know if I want to drive there just to see that type of crowd. Like St. Louis draws really well. I mean, 30, 40, 50,000. That would be a fun.
DC does all right too.
Yeah, and DC plays at a nice venue.
Yeah,
just make
a new stadium, and I think most of that is just because I can't stand going to Commanders games anymore.
Even though they're winning, I mean they're
well. I mean before, I mean in general, the last God knows how many years.
Yeah, there's another team aren't they moving back to DC? They're gonna knock down RFK, or is RFK already knocked down? Or
you mean the Commanders, the Redskins,
the Commanders, or
they're supposedly moving back.
Yeah, well, that's I know that wasn't the greatest move. I mean, that's a stadium that's outdated from what people tell me. Like that would make sense. Like I think that
FedEx?
was built,
yeah, because it was
like FedEx. FedEx makes sense, but you look at
FedEx was a mistake from the word go.
It was a mistake, kind of like Comiskey Park in Chicago. There was another. Unfortunately, they built it with 1960s baseball designs, and then the next year somebody built it with 1990s baseball designs, and flipped the script. And the White Sox, I think they want $1 billion from the city to build a new stadium. Good luck.
Well, you got to get off the bottom of the standings before somebody is giving you $1 billion. Now, I do 2 last points I wanted to make. That so people don't think I'm hating to hate. The marketplace plan was not going to be taxpayer.
No,
it's all going to be funded by the city and the people and HBSC. It was not going to be taxpayers paying into this. So it's not about that. It's about the points I made. Number 1, number 2, and something that has not been clear yet. We don't know if this arena is. This is an assumption on my part, Mark. I assume the new arena is replacing Wells Fargo Center.
That's what it seems like to me.
Teams. But they have not officially said that if Wells Fargo is going away. Well, so I have no friggin' clue.
I mean, you're going to have 2 arenas? I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to tell you right now, with all due respect to everyone involved, that the respect they deserve. Okay. If we go all the way back around to having 2 arenas there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so mad.
Well, look at all the money they put into Wells Fargo. Why would you knock it down already? But
that's what. But the Phantoms, I'm talking about the Phantoms alone, moved to Adirondack. Was it Glens Falls, whatever the heck it's called? Then back to Allentown when it was done. Wouldn't it be funny after all that time? They're like, well,
yeah,
and
it could be.
If there's 2 arenas, if you don't put a professional women's hockey league in this city. Team. Okay. If you get WNBA within 5 years after or 10, I better be alive, and B, I better get a women's hockey team. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's
especially Miss being involved. Wow. Philadelphia Freedom.
Oh, Billie Jean King.
Wow, I was blanking on her name. And everybody can shoot me for that. I deserve it. Billie Jean King been involved. She better be on the phone going, hey, got me team there yet, guys? Those are my closing thoughts. I'm not as sad as I was, but I'm still confused because I don't know what's going on with that arena. That's basically brand new on the inside.
Yeah, it's like we're staying. We're gonna have something by 2031, and that's it. No renderings. No whether we're knocking down Wachovia, not Wachovia, Wells Fargo.
Whatever.
But I think the new arena is going to be called Comcast. It's going to be named after Comcast. So will this be the
good? Finish what you're going to say. That brings me to my third
Comcast Center, Comcast Arena,
Comcast
First
Center.
United Center?
I will be less upset about everything if they do one thing, one final thing of the three. I said WNBA team and a PWHL team. Bring my AHL back across the street, and if you don't call that effing building the Spectrum.
Oh,
I don't care if you call it the Comcast Spectrum. I don't care if you call it the Comcast Spectrum 3. Because if you remember when the Wells Fargo Center plans came out, it was called Spectrum 2. Straight up.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It didn't last very long, but it was Spectrum 2, and everybody called it that throughout the construction process until the name of the rights holders were released. I don't care what sponsorship you put in front of it. Put the S name on there. God damn it.
The Spectrum. You got it right in that logo. Update that colorful logo.
Hard.
Yeah, I know Ottawa. They were going to call the Corel Center when that first opened. They were going to call it the Palladium. That was such a cool name. The Palladium.
See, we always talk about, naming rights being annoying, but I'm like, my concession is if you need to have the sponsorship naming rights, who's stopping you from using that name, though? Why can't it be the Wells Fargo Palladium?
Yeah.
Why can't it be
Wells Fargo Spectrum?
The Wachovia Spectrum because it was. Core State
it was the Wachovia
was
Spectrum.
Up. Core State Spectrum, Wachovia Spectrum, First Union Spectrum.
And then I think Calgary didn't Calgary have the Corel Saddle Dome? That was part of.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just saying, throw me a bone.
Anybody from Calgary, let me know, or hockey fans.
I'll tell you right. If I could spell flames right, I'd be quicker to it.
Yeah, I always like those names. The Centrum, the Summit.
Like what do they call the
Rosemont Horizon? Like those are
the Worcester
Worcester Centrum.
The Centrum. They don't call it a Centrum though, but I'm like, okay, what's the Worcester Centrum called now? What's it like? Dunkin' Donuts something?
Oh,
the Dunkin' Donuts Centrum. Why'd you get rid of the other name? You don't have to change that part.
Yeah,
I can't find any of the.
Oh, the DCU Center. Is that the DCU Center? Which is the terrible DCU?
Yeah, the DCU Center. Why isn't it not the DCU? What's DCU for?
Could be a bank or what
Where's
is
Paul
DCU?
When I need him? Damn it.
Yeah, Paul would be good here. Yeah, see that's the thing. I don't live in the area, so.
Digital Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
DCU Centrum.
Well, it's funny how we bring that up. I had some guests on a podcast one time, and we're talking about the New England Frontier League coming up with a name the team contest, and I brought up Nor'easterns, and they didn't know what a Nor'eastern was. They thought that was a fun name to say, being from the northeast part of the country. I'm like, no, that's like a weather.
That's unfortunate. It's like a deadly weather storm. We didn't know what that was called.
That's a deadly weather storm. And I'm like, well, I guess, if somebody named their team the Cincinnati Getta, somebody in Massachusetts might not know what the heck that is. So,
well, now that you mention it, I do want to bring up one more thing since this is my
show. Yeah, gargoyles. What's your take?
The greens, the color's purple and I love it.
Okay.
I love that. What's wrong? I just hope I swear to God, let me rephrase that. I swear to Phil Collins, if that friggin' jersey has the words on it and not just that bag ass gargoyle on on top of a building, I will throw something. That's it. That's what you need.
Maybe we need to contact the folks in Greensboro and let them know. But you're right.
Hey.
It would just having the gargoyles logo would make more sense than the Montreal women's team, PWHL team.
That is awesome. I don't want the word gargoyles. Now, if you want to put the word gargoyles on there because it's standing on the gargoyle, no. You need the logo front and center, holding that hockey stick with the gold. That's friggin' wonderful. I almost cursed twice.
No, I know a few people have liked this logo. Yeah, it's a sharp looking logo.
Yeah, I love it.
and that's ECHL. So that that's good to see him back in the market.
And you can't stop me from talking about it, Dave.
Yeah, Dave gets on like, okay, I got to go. Look,
yeah, I gotta go, guys. Well, speaking of getting to go, it is time to end the episode. Mark, where can people follow you?
Ballpark Hunter on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky Social, YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. Check out my latest adventures. I think I went to it's an older video. It's when IUPUI was still called IUPUI, and they played at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum when it was still called the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. So a whole lot has changed since I made that video. Probably should have had that posted much earlier, but
oh man,
like you visit a venue and then you don't post it for 2 years, and then oh yeah, that team doesn't play anymore. The team's not called that anymore. The arena's not called that. But you could probably tell why they did move out of that arena. So not a lot going on that day. It's one of those videos I really had to find things to record. And at the fairgrounds there was a boat show or something, or an RV show. So I jumped into a couple RVs. Probably not allowed to do that, but you get to see some RVs on this video. So things I do for my customers. So yeah, Ballpark Hunter on all social media platforms except Facebook, TikTok too. So
and you can follow me on Pixel Fed, Redbook, TikTok for now, Threads, Tumblr, Spoutable, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. Already said that.
RedTube?
Not yet. If I get desperate enough, maybe.
I don't know.
At DanLaw83 and on X at DanLaw TV, because Elon Musk is a chump. For Mark Viquez, what did Mark how did Paul used to close out?
I completely forgot. He said, "That's the news. Good night." Or
close games and safe journey. I got it.